Welcome back to Miles Between Us. I'm Misty,
I'm Melissa.
and we are excited to bring you a new episode.
Yeah.
So,
We're on a roll for you guys.
oh, it's exciting. I just think there's so much to share and talk about.
Yeah, I think this one's Misty's domain. I mean, I've learned a lot over the last 10 years, but this is kind of your bread and butter. We're going to get into the mechanical stuff today.
Yeah, this is a passion for me. It's absolutely a big deal. Everybody deals with it. So much uncertainty and fear, and quite honestly, expense involved in maintaining a vehicle that I really want to kind of go over some lies that are in the industry and hopefully give people some insight as to what to look for and how to best take care of one of their largest investments.
Yeah, I think for today's episode, I hope everyone leaves it watching or listening feeling more empowered, a little bit entertained, but honestly more at ease. That whenever you go to get your car fixed, whether it's here where we are or anywhere, whether it's a dealership, we have plenty of stories about those, a mom and pop, just wherever it is, you'll have the knowledge to know the right things to ask, and hopefully you'll make better decisions and feel better about your investment.
This industry has had a really black eye for a long time, and it doesn't have to. There's some really great shops and great people in this industry, and it's time to call the ones out that aren't.
And it's funny because we're two female owners in a male dominated industry, and it's so frustrating with the ones that aren't ethical. They're rude. They just don't make you feel comfortable. We have to work that much harder just to gain the trust. And I think it's well earned. I mean, we have no problem working really hard to gain people's trust. It's just frustrating that the industry still, we're in 2025, okay? And it's still not, I don't know. How would you describe it?
No, it needs to be transparent. I mean, if I see one more of those signs that says, my insurance company doesn't allow my customers in the shop, but that's bullshit. Nobody's insurance has ever said that.
I mean, you can't park and sit there all day, but
correct.
You can go out there.
So in our shop, we've got a glass window that you can look at and see what's going on. We've got the ability to send you pictures and videos of what's going on with your car. I think the more educated you are, as you build that trusting relationship. Now, when you've been with a shop for 30 years, you know that they're going to treat you right and do the right things. But as you're building that relationship, if you move to a new city or, you're experiencing maybe your car's out of warranty for the first time ever.
Yeah, because I've never had to deal with it. I have never, ever in my life had to go to another shop. And now my Kia Carnival, a couple years old, it has some leaks. It's about to be out of its warranty, I think, next year. But it's really intimidating because, again, I live it, I breathe it, and then going somewhere else, you don't want to get taken advantage of. You don't want to sound dumb. It's a lot. So we're here to lighten the load.
We tell people all the time, if you've got a question, whether you're at our shop or someplace else, call us. I've been doing this for 24 years. I've been around, it's a long time. I've been around all of these vehicles and the changes. We do all makes and models. So that makes us all years. That makes us really unique. And I think it makes our technicians all the more talented.
Well, it's funny what you just said, how you're like, hey, call, we'll talk to whoever. It doesn't matter if you're a customer. This just happened 2 days ago. I called Buddy Septic. I call them because it's my first Google search, and she's like, where are you? I was like, I'm in Tallahassee. What do you mean? She's like, I'm in Virginia. But then she proceeded to talk to me for like 10 minutes, educating me and she was super nice. At no point was she trying to get off, but she knew she would never have my business.
But she cared.
Yeah,
and she wanted to educate you.
Yeah. So I think it makes a difference.
I've preached this over and over again. It's just time for people to be kind to each other. And that's why we do this, is really about educating, inspiring, and we've all got horror stories. I mean, so let's talk about mechanical breakdown. First thing, lights on the dash. Now listen, we own a shop. We've been doing this a really long time. When that check engine light starts flashing at you, no matter where you are or who you are, your heart starts racing.
It's spooky season, and that is spooky.
I remember a really good friend of mine, Deanna, would call and, is my car going to blow up? I mean, she honestly had no idea what was going on. So let's talk about some of the common lights on the dash, and why everybody panics.
So you've got ABS, which quite literally is ABS,
Right.
which is your brakes.
We've got traction,
Squiggly lines.
check engine light, overheating. So this one's
big.
Yeah, this is a really big deal. And sometimes you've got engine overheating. Sometimes you just have a temperature gauge. Like, you need to know your car.
Well, and what's cool is you have, I think Google does it, where you can take a picture and then it tells you what it is. But some of the other common ones are your power steering. It looks like a steering wheel.
Washer fluid.
Yeah, it looks like little dots going like this.
Cruise, security, the fuel light. So let's talk about that. I think most people do know this, but if you don't and you get into a rental car and you're trying to figure out which side of the car to put gas on, it tells you.
Yeah, it's a tiny little arrow and it'll point on whichever side, driver's side or passenger side. I learned that not that long ago, probably 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Truly.
Well, because again, who's telling you? Now us. We're telling you.
We're the ones.
Let's talk about some of the common symptoms that we see on vehicles, what we're seeing more and more, and then we're going to walk you through the actual process of getting to a shop, questions to ask, things that are important.
Let's start at 1, when you should or shouldn't drive your car.
If it's overheating, stop. Do not drive.
You can blow that engine up in a block and you do not want that bill.
It could be a blown hose, a water pump, a radiator. I mean, there's a ton of things that go into this, right? The thermostat itself. But if you drive such a short distance and the coolant isn't getting to the systems, you actually could cause engine damage, catastrophic engine damage. And
how do you feel about, what is it called, stop leak?
Oh, please. Stop leak is meant to stop things up, including passages that were engineered to work.
Yes. What did Dean use that one time? So this was a mechanic that worked for us for probably 10 years, and he was on the side of a highway, knew all the tricks of the trade. I want to say he used black pepper. Yeah. Why he had that in his car, I do not know, but I remember that where I'm like, oh, just in case. Yeah.
So, and again, it's also dangerous. Like, if you get out and your car's overheating and, you see some smoke and steam and you pop the hood, that radiator cap or the coolant reservoir is under pressure. So it's very likely that you will get burned with a very hot liquid. It can blow radiator caps off. So,
even the steam itself.
Yeah, it's dangerous. Just don't. It's not worth it. We recommend that every single person build a relationship with your tow company. We are not going to drive if our brake pedal is going to the floor.
We've had a lot of people drive to our shop saying the pedal goes all the way down and I just kind of coasted here. I'm like,
wipers that don't work when it's pouring rain. No power steering. Like, listen, back in the day, before all of us, there was cars without power steering, and you had a workout in driving that around.
My Escape, my first Escape, it went out right there at the roundabout on Gaines, and I remember so vividly on that first turn, and I'm like, what is happening? I'm putting my whole body into it. And that was one of the first electric power steering gears we did.
Common symptoms that we've probably all experienced: the grinding when braking.
There could be a squeak.
There used to be a squeak. It was called a squeal indicator. And you've got some vehicles, Mercedes, BMWs, that have a brake wear indicator, which will tell you how low the pad is. Now, again, you hear us say this over and over again, that things aren't made the way they used to be, but they're not. We used to be able to turn your rotor. That's not a thing anymore. They're kind of disposable parts.
Everything's gone replacement.
Yeah. So don't let somebody just slap some pads on your vehicle, because you're going to get a pulsation in the pedal. You're going to get a shake in the steering wheel. But that grinding or a squeal when you're braking, take it to a shop.
So that'll be pads or rotors.
Yes. AC stops blowing cold. So we're in Florida. This is a huge problem.
It is 90 degrees and it is October or something.
But don't automatically assume that, so with an AC system, you've got a compressor, you've got a condenser, expansion valve, fans, evaporator core, you've got blend doors. I mean, there's a lot that go into these systems. When your AC stops blowing cold, it could be multiple things. We could have a car that's overheating. We could have a vehicle that's gone into limp mode. So limp mode is the vehicle trying to protect its brain and heart function. So it starts cutting off things that aren't absolutely necessary.
Which is good, but bad if you ignore it.
Yes.
So
yeah, don't drive the car in limp mode. A lot of times people come in and say, well, it's not blowing at all. Well, then we're probably looking at a blower motor or a resistor.
And then depending on where it's blowing out of, if it's not blowing out of the main vents, but it's blowing out of defrost or on your feet, then that's one of the blend doors.
Correct.
Which you hope is not the main one, because that's the labor-intensive one.
You come to a stoplight, you go to take off, and you feel this absolute thud and lurch.
Mm-hmm. Motor mounts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's fun to see. If it's really, really bad, you can pop the hood open, and someone will have it where they, safely push the gas, and you can see the whole thing just like it's about to jump out of your car.
Yes, the engine rocks. You're driving down the street and you kind of feel this hesitation. We call it a skip most of the time. You just feel like it's not completely running the way it's supposed to. A little bit of shaking sometimes. Check engine light may or may not come on. If you're a Ford, it's not going to come on. The car's just shaking. It's probably a misfire. We're looking at plugs or coils or something along those lines. We're giving you some of the most common things that we know we see. I want to talk about this check engine light and getting a car diagnosed. So
scanning it versus diagnosing it.
Yeah, there's a big difference, people.
Scanning it is good for just needing to know quickly, and you can do your own research if a shop's closed, if you can't get in right away, something like that.
I've got auto parts stores that offer this free engine diagnostic scan. And so you go there and they plug in a $200 code reader and they come back with a code and tell you need a part. They're a parts store. They're going to tell you need a part. It is a diagnostic tool for a trained and licensed technician to start looking in the direction that he needs to go. I mean, just because we've got a P0301, which is a cylinder 1 misfire, doesn't mean I need a spark plug. It doesn't mean I need a coil. I need to look at the wiring. I mean, I need to look at everything. Can't you just hook it on the computer and tell me what's wrong with it? No, we can't. There's a difference between a code reader and a scanner. So we can watch live data. I can turn your car on and off with my computer. I can turn on different cylinders. I can reprogram stuff. I can roll windows up and down. I can watch injectors. I mean, there's so much data involved in this process.
And we don't believe in just throwing parts at it.
Absolutely not. Nobody wants to pay for something they don't need.
It's already expensive.
Right.
So yeah, now we're going to walk you through the process. You have a symptom, you call your shop of choice. This is essentially what you can expect.
Right. So let's talk about how we're going to pick our shop of choice though. Okay, because we want to look at a couple of things. For a lot of people, it's really natural to go to the dealership. The dealer is basically the manufacturer of your car, right? And they're supposed to have the latest and greatest technology and the information. And that is not always the case.
I think it's associated with people's minds that they have to know.
Yes, they don't. And
they are a business that hires technicians just like any other shop.
Yeah.
They may have some additional resources, but at the end of the day.
Right. Well, and usually their prices are higher. You're going to pay more going to a dealership. I mean, you just are. You're paying
the
for
rates
that.
Are usually higher alone.
Yeah, you're paying for the big building. And again, they are notorious for selling you stuff you don't need.
Yeah, I think most are still on commission. I don't know if all of them are, but.
Yeah, so that's something that our listeners and our viewers need to know. You need to ask your shop, is my service writer? So that's the person who's going to be calling you and telling you what's wrong with your car and giving you an estimate. Is my service writer on commission? Because if they're on commission, they want to sell you more stuff.
Yeah, they're incentivized to make more money.
Correct.
Yeah.
And your technicians are the same way. So are your technicians on commission? Or is it based on how many things they sell you? We've seen shops that create a quota of, we need to sell 50 batteries this week.
Yeah, it's probably more like your super lubes and stuff.
Right. That makes no sense, right? So they get fixated on something. We recommend, and there are some good dealers, but it is all about kind of word of mouth, honestly. I think you need to look at, are they licensed? Are they insured? If something happens while your vehicle's there, is it going to be covered by their insurance? Do they have the right equipment, the right tools? Are they trained? And how do they treat you? So, ask relatives, ask your neighbors. I'm going to tell you, I'm not a huge fan of Google reviews.
You don't have to have been a customer to leave a Google review.
No, I mean, it's insane. Anybody
Look for
can go to
places that have
anything.
verified reviews. Like
Yes.
there's places called Sure Critic.
Right.
That's a big one. They're all verified customers. Go see it in person. Go see, is it clean? Are they nice?
Yeah, we recommend that to parents bringing their kids up to college here is don't wait until your kid calls you and you're 1,000 miles away and they're broke down. So that's really important. And then let's talk about the process. So typically you're going to call and you're going to make an appointment. Mm-hmm. That's really important. And I want to stress that to our listeners and our viewers. Auto repair is an extremely complicated process. It takes highly skilled people. It's not a drive-through. You need to be prepared to make an appointment. You wouldn't make an appointment with your doctor, your dentist, your lawyer, your plumber, your AC guy. This is no different. Make an appointment and drop your vehicle off, because a diagnosis now is not 5 or 10 minutes. They're so complicated, so many computers.
And you want the technicians to be thorough. You don't want them to rush through it. And then they could misdiagnose because they could get sent down the wrong rabbit hole. They're like, oh, I only have 20 minutes to do this. Yeah. You want them to be thorough and to really figure out what's wrong with your car.
Well, and that's something cool about us. And I want to encourage more shops to do this. So people thought we were crazy when we did it. And some days we still think we're crazy that we did it. But our technicians are all on salary. So they are not trying to beat a clock. They're going to do the job right and thoroughly and take their time. They're going to take their time diagnosing it. Where you've got somebody who's on commission and they're only paid a half hour to diagnose your car, they're not spending any extra time. Be patient, right? Yes. No shop wants your car just sitting there, I assure you.
We make no money.
No money not fixing your car. So let the shop look at it, diagnose it. Let the shop call you, give you your diagnosis and your estimate, and then ask the question, is this absolutely necessary?
Yeah, if there's multiple things you're given and quoted, ask to have it put in priority, because right now I think most of us can't afford a $3,000 bill. So if you can say, hey, what do I absolutely have to do versus what can I watch? Can I check my oil levels? Can I check my tire wear? Things like that. I'm
going to tell you one of the things that I absolutely ignore on my own vehicle, and I tell a lot of my customers to ignore.
I know.
The tire pressure sensor light. I'm out, people. I can look at my tire and tell if it's low. I still know how to use a manual air gauge. Mm-hmm. And I do not need a tire pressure sensor that's over $100 a piece to flash at me.
So that's where I think we have the transparency in certain things where we will 1000% make sure you and your vehicle are safe. We will never be negligent on safety. Right. But if there's certain things that we absolutely know you can get by with forever, or, however long you need to, we're really big on that.
I think everybody has experienced you need an air filter. You need a cabin air filter. I was in an emergency and I needed to go out of town, get an oil change, and they sat in the lobby and they're doing my oil change, and this young man came out and he had this very serious look on his face, and he said, ma'am, we have a very serious problem. I said, oh, do we? You really need this air filter. I said, cool, why don't you show it to me? This young man proceeded to tell me that it was very difficult to get out. I said, young man, I drive an F-150. Undo the clip on the airbox and show me my air filter. It was new. Just so we're clear, it had been replaced.
He tried to play the wrong girl.
Wrong girl. No, just say no.
Nothing should be a secret on your car. It is your car at the end of the day.
We care about your safety. You're driving these vehicles next to us. You're driving them next to our children and our grandchildren. That's what's important to us, is that you're safe.
And it's a lot easier to stay up on your maintenance, your oil changes, just even your routine checkups. Anytime I go on a trip, no matter what, I do a trip check. So that's where they're either doing an oil change if it's needed or checking all the belts, tires, all that kind of stuff. Because it's a lot easier to plan for the future, knowing, oh, hey, you need a CV axle in the future, whatever, rather than all of us getting shocked and then you're stressed and then you got to figure it out. So it's always better if you can stay ahead of it and be preventative and plan rather than the emergencies.
Yeah, so I want to talk about the oil changes, right? Because listen to me, this is the life of your vehicle, right? This is the actual heart of your vehicle. These vehicles are engineered for a specific weight oil, sometimes a specific brand of oil. They've got to be Dexus approved. Don't go over on your mileage for an oil change. I don't care who is telling you a vehicle can go 10,000 miles for an oil change.
Can we talk about the, what is it, the year?
Right.
Which one did we see?
Yeah, I mean, this makes
I
no
would
sense.
never.
Don't wait for the light to come on because it is not always going to come on. So to summarize, make an appointment, drop your car off, let the professionals look at it, diagnose it, call you with an estimate, and then decide what you want to fix, right? Get it repaired, get a warranty, make sure you know what the warranty is on your repairs, and go from there. So it really should just be that simple.
Yeah, I agree.
Crazy symptoms and fixes. Y'all, it's getting wild in the automotive world.
All because of these dang modules.
Computers, engineers. We're going to blame the engineers.
I'm going to blame somebody.
You had an F-150. Now, this F-150 was a newer F-150.
I had told the story so many times.
Right, so this F-150 was at the Ford dealership. They had spent over 2.5 weeks. It was there for a no start. They spent over 2 weeks tracing it. So typically, vehicles in no start, we're going to check battery, we're going to check alternator, we're going to check fuel pump. Like, there's just certain common things you're going to check, right? Customer says that, take it to Bob's, right? So it comes into us. And so we start looking at it. We start tracing everything. We're pretty familiar with what they call a CAN bus system now. So imagine that as wireless internet and an internet network within your car. So every single module has to talk to each module, and
it's got to complete a cycle or something.
Yeah. So the passenger window regulator module for the motor would not work. Passenger's window was inoperable.
Yeah, I think it created an open circuit.
It absolutely prevented this vehicle from starting.
That is the wildest one I've heard in so long.
Never in my life. Y'all, we used to drive around broken windows all the time.
So
yeah, I mean, you had crank roll-up windows, and now you can't.
Start your car.
You got to make sure even the passenger's window's working or your car was not going to start. So, yeah, that was wild. We had to replace that module. As soon as we replaced the module, completed the circuit, vehicle started up every time.
This one I wouldn't say is crazy, but it's very common, that burning smell. It smells like plastic burning. There's a lot of debris always in the road. You'll see the plastic bag just floating about. So I don't think I ever had it happen to me, but I go over it and I'm always looking in my rear view, almost like when you drive past a cop, you're still, to see if my car sucked it up and it got attached to my exhaust, and it'll melt to it, and it smells horrible. It takes a while to burn off. Don't swerve for a plastic bag. We did not tell you to do that.
Yes. Let's talk about some of the things we find in vehicles when at the shop. We've had some wild ones, y'all.
Okay. Listen, if you know your car is going into a shop, I'm not talking about the people that got it towed here, they broke down. You can't help that. I feel you. Yeah. The ones that have scheduled an appointment, please just take out your paraphernalia. I mean, come on. Just be mindful. It's kind of like when you have company coming over to your house. I think most of us, panic clean. Do the same with your car real quick.
I mean, I have tons of mail in my car, water bottles, and it's just part of life. But
just put it in an area that is in the back seat, out of the way, something like that. Because I just feel bad for the techs when they get in and there's old food here, and then there's stuff where they need to be, and they don't want to necessarily move all your stuff and get it discombobulated even more than it probably already is.
Right. This was in our old location. And we had a vehicle towed in from FAMU University. So it was over on campus. And the young lady had a vehicle towed in and said that it wouldn't start. And she had noticed a little bit of residue around the gas cap area. So the car got towed in, and because it wasn't drivable, the tow truck actually towed it into the shop, and so it was in the building. Now, it was about 4 days before the mechanic could get to it, and I was at my desk, and my technician came in with a very serious look on his face, and he said, "Misty, we have a bomb in a car." Y'all, I thought he was kidding. I said, "Shut the hell up. We do not have a bomb. What are you talking about, a bomb in a car?" He said, "Oh no, it's this whole thing that's been going around, how to do this homemade bomb. I'm not telling you how, but how to do this homemade bomb. Basically put it in the gas, and then stuff disintegrates, and there's a reaction and things blow up, right?" I'm like, "You have got to be kidding me." This car's been sitting in my shop. People all over the place. It was towed here, meaning it was jostling around. So immediately I called 911. We had to evacuate the building. Luckily, this particular car had an access under the rear seat to get to the actual fuel tank. So the technician had already taken the rear seat out and was looking in the actual fuel tank to see this particular bomb. And so we all evacuated. Buildings next to us evacuated. They used the robot from the bomb squad to go up into the shop and see this bomb and take pictures of it. Everything was handled, diffused. Nobody got hurt.
Did they say why it didn't activate? I mean,
we were within hours of it activating. It was terrifying.
It's just giving me Grey's Anatomy vibes, honestly.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm taking it back just a second. When you take your vehicle to a shop, this is really, really, really important. You don't realize how much information lies within the customer. You are as pertinent to these repairs as anything else. So how you describe what is wrong with your vehicle at the time really matters. And I'll get down and dirty with it. I will ask you so many specific questions. You probably think I'm being annoying or I'm going into detective mode, but it only helps your technicians not go down the wrong rabbit hole. So it matters. I'll even ask my customers, I'm saying, sing the song. What does it say? Is it like, what is it doing? I need to know. And we've thought about recording customers.
I mean, when does it happen? How often does it happen? I mean, it's probably happened to some of our listeners and viewers, but your car acts up, and then you get it in the shop and it acts perfectly fine.
It's on its best behavior.
Best behavior when it gets here. So
you're not crazy.
You're not crazy. The car did not fix itself. It's going to happen again. But, when does it happen? How often does it happen? What were the conditions while you were driving and it happened?
Incline, bumpy road, turning left, turning right. Is your car fully loaded? Is there someone in the passenger seat? Is the passenger the person that heard the noise? Just everything you can imagine.
Yeah, it is really important.
So we can always sift through the information you give us and pick out key information. We can never create that story for you. So just make sure that you give every single possible detail you can imagine.
Those diagnoses that we've had lately. The shaking only when it goes over 95 miles an hour. Are you paying for that speeding ticket when we have to go test drive it?
Why are you going 95 in the first place? Slow down.
And the vehicle only acts up after they've been driving 250 miles straight.
Yeah. I would love to. Is Dust in that car? Tell me where to go. I will go. I will spend the night. I will come back. I will wine and dine your car.
Melissa's going to test drive your vehicle for 250 miles at a time.
So our dad had a pin board that he would keep, and he would put customers' quotes, invoices, what have you, from, and it was usually dealerships. We're not hating on all dealerships. They just have a rap, so they do.
They earned it. We have a vehicle here right now. It's a Mercedes. It's a newer Mercedes. Vehicle's less than 4 years old. It took the dealership 33 days to diagnose it. Vehicle needs a flywheel. It's a $6,000 job. It's very labor intensive. We're getting the part from the manufacturer and the dealership, and their quote to do this exact same job was over $3,000 more.
It segue into extended warranties. The one you have seen over and over and over on the commercials, CarShield,
is being sued in almost every state.
You can't even, we're in Tallahassee, within 250 miles, there's not a shop. So tell me how you're being sold something that you can't even utilize.
Right. The idea of an extended warranty is that once your original manufacturer's warranty is run out, you pay to have warranty coverage on your motor and transmission. Cars are expensive to fix. Mm-hmm. And there are some extended warranties I am absolutely behind.
Route 66.
Route 66 all day long. But you have these warranty companies that your shop can't get a hold of. They're on hold for 2 and 3 hours waiting for somebody to pick up the phone. They deny everything. They want to send a used part. That's not covered because of this. They'll tell you that everything's covered.
Let's talk about the one. So it's not just CarShield. There's many others that will tell the consumer.
CarShield is the worst.
Everything's covered. Everything's covered, because that's always what our customers tell us. And it's so frustrating because it's just these salespeople that don't actually look at your policy. They sell you whatever. But my favorite one that got denied was an engine that was needed. The water pump took out the engine, and they said, well, your engine's not covered because your water pump took it out. Y'all, your engine does not just spontaneously combust. Like, unless it's got 300,000 miles and it comes apart internally, well, they're not getting that high. But you know what I mean? That was wild to me. So they will sell you things that you think you have this security, and you don't. So you're spending, I don't even know how much they are monthly now.
Yeah,
it's not cheap.
They can be a couple $1,000s to purchase one of these things. So what I would say is call the shop that you want to work with and say, hey, what do you think of this extended warranty company? Is it worth me getting? It's a peace of mind to have some of that, but do not get taken advantage of by these ones that are spending millions and millions and millions of dollars advertising.
I firmly believe, this is my hot take, that if this entity is spending bukus on advertising, they're stealing that money from somewhere else to be able to afford all of this advertising.
Yeah, the customers are stealing it from them.
That's just how I feel.
Yeah. But I will tell you, repairs are very expensive now, and I don't want to scare you. I want you to be prepared.
Yeah, we want to educate and make you aware.
And prevent some of them.
Yeah.
Prevent some of them.
You can prevent a lot of them, truly. If you stay up on your maintenance and you are in the shop regularly, it's kind of like dentist. You go every 6 months. They catch it early. It's not as expensive. It's not as scary. I think it's the same with mechanics. As long as you can plan, everything's a lot more manageable.
It's all about being educated, right? So you've got questions, and don't feel, listen to me, y'all. I had a man come in here earlier this week.
Was I here?
You were not here yet.
I always miss the good one.
She is the late sister. I am the early sister, according to us. I had a man walk in here, look at me, and said, honey, I need to talk to somebody who knows about cars.
We're in 2025. May I stress this again?
I looked at him and said, I am the best you're going to get. He looked shocked. This was not an old school, like, women weren't in this industry.
That's what I was picturing.
So don't judge a book by its cover. There are a lot of women in this industry, and we are rocking it. We are very detail oriented. We're going to keep bringing you guys tips and ideas and things that we're seeing on a regular basis. We love this industry, and we hope that you're enjoying listening to us. We're going to bring you some silly, funny, not automotive related stories, and then we're going to bring you some automotive related stories that hopefully just bring you a little bit of peace.
I think we're going to get into a little groove because we do have so much information that I think is important that we want to get out to our community. So we're just going to do kind of like every other. We'll do, very informative, but then also fun, get to know.
Yeah, get to know us. We want to get to know you. So if you, like our content, if you're listening on Spotify or, Apple, or if you're watching us on YouTube, follow us. Follow us and go to our website, send us comments and questions or topics that you'd like us to talk about. We're women CEOs. We own an auto repair and collision center, mom, grandma, college graduates. We've done a lot of stuff. We've done some really cool stuff.
And we just want to engage with everybody. We think everyone can learn something from everybody. And I just think it's fun if we're all connected.
Yeah. That's really what this life is about. Let's enjoy the connection with each other. Let's share our knowledge. We don't have to go through all of this alone.
Oh, I have to give a shout out. Maybe there's multiple of you. If there are, I love it. But I have to say shout out to Jim because he has listened to every single one of our episodes so far.
Thank you, Jim. Oh, we do really, really appreciate that. It's fun to get to spend time with my sister doing this and also feel like we're giving back something. We've been blessed. So it's really nice to do that. So again, follow us on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. Visit our website. Leave us a review. That's really important.
Yeah, 5 stars.
Yes. And then on our next episode, what can they expect to hear, Melissa?
Oh, I don't know. It's still in the works. So what's funny is, I'll just say a little bit. We're obviously doing all our own stuff. We're learning the lighting, as we've said before. We're learning. But what I love is if there's any OGs that stay with us on very first episode, you'll get to see how we grow and how much better we get. So if it sounds better, thank you to these tiny little microphones because they've done a good job. If not, then I will figure it out next round. But yeah, I'm excited to see how it's going to evolve and grow.
You're just doing an incredible job. I just get to come and talk and, share some knowledge. And Melissa's doing all this editing and she's really doing an amazing job. So.
Well, it's fun. All that to say is we batched our first 4 episodes because I was panicked. I was panicked when Misty kept telling everyone and their mother that we were starting a podcast. I'm like,
it worked.
I'm like, I got to figure out how to do this. So we had all ours batched before, and now we're getting more on a kind of bi-weekly basis.
Every 2 weeks, you're gonna get something from us, and I'm really thinking that our next one, maybe we're going to talk about some fall things and some activities and stuff going on.
Maybe in Tallahassee and the surrounding areas.
Yeah, let's get out, let's mingle, and let's get to meet people and do some fun stuff. So
that'll be a good one.
If you've got events that you want us to share, send them to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'd love to get that information out.
Because I'd also like to know what's going on too. She's way better about that. She's good at looking on Facebook events.
Yes, I try to pay up with what's going on.
Yeah, you're better than me at that when you're the elder.
Yes.
Yeah, you got the brain.
Thank you guys for joining us. Yeah. We are.
Wait. Oh. Did I scare you? I saw fear in your eyes. No, you go first.
Unscripted.
Unedited.
Real life.